Now we're going to talk about a massacre that took place in India. And as an Indian, I have been accused a few times, why don't you do the massacre first? And it has been a difficult one, because if I did my own suffering, or my people suffering of my own country, my own place, I felt selfish. I have to acknowledge others' suffering first before I come to my own. And Sajee Gopal is going to speak about it. He proposed last year at this event that why don't we do about the Gujarat massacre. So I asked him to come and share what it was about. And after that, we're going to watch over time. We're going to finish it on time. And if we have the time, we will play another video for 4.5 minutes. Sajee, come on.
Hello. Yeah, can you guys hear? Okay. Dear friends and comrades, on the occasion of this Holocaust and Native Americans genocide, I would like to speak a few points about the Gujarat massacre. I think as a human rights activist, we want to analyze this tragic incident from a human rights perspective. Gujarat is a Western Indian state, right? Is one of the prosperous and developed state. In 2002, right? In 2002 February, there is a train which is passing through. It has reached a station called Godhra, right? So this train has a couple of coaches, has some pilgrims, religious pilgrims. The train reached in the early morning of 7:40. So what happened is when it reached, there is a altercation between these religious pilgrims and some of the food vendors, right? So what happened is subsequently, somehow the coach in the train, it got burned. There are about 58 people were died. But unfortunately, we don't know what is the reason for this. Is this an electrical accident within the train, or some people from outside where they attacked? We don't know the real reason. But what happened is subsequently, there is a massive killings, right? Approximately 2,000 people were killed in Gujarat, right? And just imagine, innocent people were killed, women were raped, even a pregnant woman of 9 months pregnant woman, even she was raped and she was brutally killed. And the children was burned. And there are thousands of houses have been destroyed. So just imagine killing of thousands of people. Is it really possible without the consent of the ruling party? Is it really possible without the role of the state? Here in Gujarat, what happened is the state, the police machinery, everybody is involved in engineering this massacre. I think we also have to understand the history of communal rights. In India, there are hundreds of communal rights. There is a communal rights between Hindus and Muslims, and also the attacks on Sikh community. So, if you see this from a political context, in India, the communal right have been used as a weapon for the political gain, right? There is a few political parties who have gained, specifically the political party which is Bharatiya Janata Party, which is called BJP, has seen significant gains in terms of electoral votes or number of seats in the parliament. So this party has benefited. Who knows, they might as well come into the power in the 2014. I think we also have to understand what is the political philosophy behind, right, this BJP. There is an organization called RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. The literal translation of this organization is National Volunteer Organization, right? This organization, RSS, is more or less same as Nazis. If you see in the American context, they have a lot of similarities between Ku Klux Klan, right? The founders of RSS, right, the Goldwalker, they drew a lot of inspiration from Nazi Germany and Hitler. So they wanted to build a authoritarian Hindu state, right? At the same time suppressing, the minority. So they have done this groundwork almost like 60 years and 70 years, and they have spread across thousands of organizations, right? Even there in Dallas, Texas, right? In the college campuses as well as the outside, they build these religious fanatic organizations, right, which spreads their ideology. So in Gujarat, what happened is there is this massive communal hatred has been spread across. I'm sure some of you know the history of the fascism, right? The fascism meaning projecting minority as an enemy to the majority, right? The same thing we have seen in Italy, the same thing we have seen in Germany, right? And again, in this 21st century, again this religious fascism is rising in the name of nationalism and so called. So once this religious hatred has been spread, right, under the leadership of Mr. Shri Narendra Modi, who is the chief minister, meaning like a governor of a state, right, he is the head of the state. Under his able leadership, right, these religious fanatics have committed this massacre and they killed thousands of people. But unfortunately, the Indian judiciary, right, Indian court, they're not able to punish these criminals and these perpetrators because he is still in power, right? Right now, as we speak, he's still in power for a state, and now they are projecting him to be the prime ministerial candidate of India. The fundamental question arises, who are the forces who are capable to defeat these religious fascists? Is it the neoliberals? Like in India, there is another party called Congress Party, which is incapable and which is corrupt, right? So they're not capable of defeating. So because of this, like social political conditions, this religious fascists, the political power is keep on rising. And also there is another argument. Gujarat, like what they are saying is Gujarat is an industrial state. There is a lot of progress. But when we measure the development or when we measure the progress, we have to take the civil rights record also into account, right? Hitler, if you study the history, during the Hitler era, Germany has gone through a significant industrial progress, right? A massive progress. But at the same time, he was also responsible for the millions of killings of Jews, right? So only the economical prosperity cannot condone, right, the human rights record. So even though in the state of Gujarat, right, there is only development of industrialists and billionaires. But if you see the life of the public, the common people, right, I mean, either in terms of public education or healthcare, right, in the Human Development Index, still it is a massive decline. Only what it has seen is industrial progress. But I think the fundamental question arises that, right, how do we get justice for these thousands of victims? And what are the political forces who are capable to raise a militant fight, right, to defeat these religious fascists? I think what we have to understand is here we have a group of people, right, people from Sikh community. They have seen a massive, they themselves the victims of 1984 massacre, right? We have seen Jews, who are millions of Jews were killed in Germany, right? At the same time, the Native Americans, right, who are the sons of this soil, right? At the same time, they've been slaughtered. So we have to build a united front, right? United front of various people. And we have to build a united front with the secular forces, with the revolutionary forces, and who are democratic forces, right? So we have to build this massive united front, and we have to build a strong public opinion. We have seen the war criminal, the people who are being accused as a war criminal, George Bush or Tony Blair, have gone into the dustbin of history because they cannot, they have lost the credibility in the public. Once these political leaders, no matter what kind of heinous crimes they commit, once they lost the credibility of public, once they lost the confidence of people, they no longer can sustain. So it is very important to be united, right? We need to learn about our ancestors, right? For example, Martin Luther King, he gave his lifetime, right, for the freedom of Americans and not only Americans. And like Bhagat Singh, right, who gave his life at a very young age, right, for the freedom of India. At the same time, like Karl Marx, which is one of the famous BBC has conducted a study about who is the most well-known political philosopher of 21st century. Karl Marx, right, is a political philosopher. He also came from a Jewish origin, right? At the same time, like I'm from a city called Hyderabad, right? We have a journalist called Soyabullah Khan, is a journalist, right, who fought against the, you know, atrocities of Nizam, and he gave his sacrifice his life. At the same time, we have from the Native Americans, Black Elk, right? He also fought in the Wounded Knee Massacre. So what do we learn from these ancestors? History is not just to read, we need to learn lessons and we need to reapply this lesson to the current day social conditions, right? That's what, you know, our ancestors teach. So what I appeal is, we need to build a united front, and it is very important to continue with the people's struggle to defeat the religious fascists, no matter what religion they belong to. They might belong to the Hindu or Jewish or Christianity. These are religious fanatics are there in all religions. Yep, thank you.